Hey guys, so it's been a while since my last video. Just to explain, for anyone who doesn't know, I live in Warsaw, Poland, and generally there haven't been a lot of COVID cases here. However, a few weeks ago I was at a dance event and I caught coronavirus along with several other people who were there. And I basically experienced really sudden, intense symptoms. For example, a headache that wouldn't go away, fever at night, a very noticeable loss of energy, loss of concentration and focus, loss of appetite, loss of sex drive, and I just felt like laying down and sleeping all day. And that only lasted a few days, but the low energy and low concentration has lasted for several weeks. Fortunately, I'm now back to normal on a day-to-day basis. I kind of only feel that lower energy in the gym, where it takes me a little bit longer to recover than it used to, but I'm working on it and things are moving in a positive direction. So fingers crossed, I'll be 100% back to normal even in the gym whenever they reopen. They've just closed here. Anyway, I wanted to use this video to talk about what I learned from this experience. I'm someone who closely identifies with my mental and physical strength, as well as my sexuality. So when I stopped feeling strong, when I stopped feeling mentally quick, when I stopped feeling horny, something which is usually always there, so my body must have been really, really fighting hard in order to need to switch that off, it felt like my identity was stripped away. I lost my self-confidence. I lost my mindset of thinking that I can do anything I put my mind to. And I started to worry. Not so much about how I was feeling, because I didn't really worry about my safety so much, but I worried about my job situation, my income situation, which made me worry about my future immigration status. I worried about not being able to meet up with a girl I like. And essentially I went into this place of insecurity. Now, in my head, even in an insecure way, I was pushing myself to recover quickly. But I knew, and I felt in my body, that that was not within my power. And I couldn't even do the things that would make me feel productive, like learning and self-development, because I just didn't have the mental capacity for it. Instead, I just spent my days sat on the sofa, only able to binge watch Netflix, something I never really do. I'm usually, when I'm healthy, doing something productive or fun. I've got no time for mediocrity, and yet that's all I could manage. I previously had a life powered by a sense of badassery, and that was taken away from me. I basically used to feel really strong and unstoppable, and suddenly I felt very stoppable. Now, with most of my valued strengths gone, all my weaknesses were exposed. Now, I once heard a psychologist say that we carry within us all the people we have been throughout our lives up until this point. And now I had felt inside myself this scared little boy whose feelings had never really been heard. And I say this as someone who has, for several years, been reaching deep down inside my soul to find my deepest truths and my hidden secrets. And now I could feel these long-held feelings of fear. Feelings that I would never be loved, that I would ultimately be rejected, that I would never have lasting peace in my life. And I knew that these feelings had driven thoughts, patterns of thinking, and actions throughout my whole life. So, what did I do? How did I get rid of these feelings? Well, it started by not getting rid of them. I just sat with them. I closed my eyes, I breathed deeply, and I felt the fear. I felt the weakness, I felt the insecurity. I felt the discomfort. And I spoke whatever words came to me, even if they sounded weak or didn't make complete sense. And I didn't feel any sudden change either. But as my strength started to return, I kept that familiarity with my fears and weaknesses. And when an idea or an impulse came to me, I was just a little bit quicker than I was before in knowing when it came from a place of fear rather than a place of strength. And when I felt like saying or doing something which was powered by fear, I was now better and more often able to catch myself and to say to that fear impulse,
No. No, I don't think I will.
I have for several months been using as a mantra the words of Jiddu Krishnamurti. Here is my secret. I don't mind what happens. And this mantra has been a really useful litmus test in knowing when I'm motivated from a mindset of strength versus weakness. When I'm weak, I care about the outcome, about whether I will get the job, the woman, the life I want, to be able to live where I want to live, to be able to do what I want to do. But when I'm strong, I just don't mind what happens. I experience beauty in my life as it comes and as it goes. And I know that I'll be okay and I will survive as long as I'm needed in this world. And nothing else matters. Someone once defined courage as feeling the fear and doing it anyway. I couldn't be brave without knowing my fears. I couldn't be strong without knowing my weaknesses. But in doing so, in being more familiar with my weaknesses and fears as they still live within me, I can be braver, I can be stronger than I would otherwise be. And so can you. Thank you very much for listening.